up to Lamed Zion, from what Rav Miller told me. Mutter Lotzeis v'Shabbos, v'Vatay Yadayim Nikraim Guntish. That you're allowed to go outside with gloves. You have to go ahead and you have to attach it to your coat or to something like that. Now, we're talking about the issue is that the problem is if you're possibly going to take them off and carry them in Shusharavim like many other things. Now, what they say is that in a very cold climate where if you take it off, your hands will freeze, and it'd be bitzar. Then we're not so worried about that, and it's considered a malbush, and that's fine. If you just put it on for Yofi or something, then that would be an issue. Or if you're, but if it's, if you're in the middle of the winter, you're allowed to keep them on. So to be earmuffs, things like that, which if you don't have them, it's going to be bitzar. So that would be okay. Someone who goes out with a talus which is not proper tzitzis on it, chayiv. He's chayiv because it's tzitzis. He's considered that he's carrying tzitzis. So like we said, anything which is mutar, anything which is extra on a beged, which you don't is not sort of you're carrying it. But you're carrying it. For example, even if it's a tafur, like the post can talk about the extra buttons in the bottom of your shirt. Moshe B'Shulchan says that it is a problem. It's a machlokes.
As if you want a regular talus with tzitzis.
Right.
If I remember correctly, as a tshuva that just stands putting it on, regular is not a bag, it's a stricter problem.
Right. So we'll get to that. Since these strings are choshev, that's the thing. If the strings are choshev, the daito alei ashiyashiv yosei tzitzis, and your das is you want to make tzitzis. Then they're not considered part of the beged. Something which is obviously if it's tied on and it's not chashuv, if extra strings, things like that, you don't have to worry about that. But if it's everything's tied on properly, we should aim but tcheles. Even though nowadays we don't have tcheles, so maybe we don't whatever. Mutter lotzes b'Shabbos, you're allowed to go out on Shabbos. Kila. You have like these strings which tie it up or whatever, tighten it. You're allowed to put them on and go out to Shusharavim. Unlike by tzitzis, these rituals are not considered a masui because they're not choshev if they answer. They're part of the beged. You need to cinch your clothes. That even though you don't use them to tie it up, but there's extra strings, it's a yofi, whatever it is, don't worry about it. If you have a gartel, right, with all the extra strings at the end, that's not considered choshev, that's part of the gartel. Although imheim shomeshi, if they're like silk, something special, then they're choshev. But also, if you don't use it to tie up the shoe, whatever, tie up the extra strings, if they're fancy, if they're for yofi, so then to make it look nice, then if you don't use them, then it might be a problem. Let's say you have a piece of the beged tears off and it's hanging off. So you have fasteners, things like that, or a button which is hanging partially off. Then if you have a button half hanging off, don't worry about it. If it's like a decoration on the beged, which really makes the beged, then also latzisbo, then it's also to go out with it. A hat which sticks out from a person's head, a tefach. Also, hanicha barosha afilu babayis. It's even also to wear it in the house, mishum oil, because of oil. This is a controversial halacha because it's one of the things people actually don't know about.
We know about it. The minute is not to follow that halacha.
So to explain, to give you the coolest on this, to explain, there is talk. First of all, there's Mechos Rishonim about what the tam is. Some say it's because of masui. Rashi says it's because of oil arai. So it's only the Rabbanon in the first place. It's only the Rabbanon. Two, it has to be something which is which is hard, that it makes stiff or hard, right? The third is that also it has to be made for. They say that it only have to be makbid if it's made for sale. Yeah, because all the places came out. What about our hats, right? Now, if you're wearing a hat, nowadays there's more of a style to have a small brim, so you don't have to worry. You don't have to worry about it. But in the big brims, so then it's made for kavod. It's not made for shielding your face from sun and rain or something like that. Not bi'ikaron. It may, if it's agav, it's rabbanon. If it's agav, so this is. I had a discussion with Rav Gilman last night about baseball hats. I heard many years ago baseball hats are a problem. Because you're wearing it, now it depends, if you're wearing it because, you want to show off the Yankees or the Lakers, whatever it is, so then, that's your style, so fine, you're wearing it for that. But if you're wearing it because it's a hot day out and, you want to shield it gets into an issue. There are kulas, and I'll explain the kulas, more kulas in a second. Right, so the other kula which is brought down is that it's slanted. Now, it was a little unclear what it means slanted. I don't think slanted means slanted back. Like a person wears his hat and like sort of slanted up. That's not oil, but oil is something which goes straight. It could be if it's also slanted far down. It's harder because it blocks your eyes. But if it's slanted, it's only if it goes out straight. So with the baseball hat, if you go ahead and slant it down, or you wear it a bit back and you slant it up, then that would take care of the issue. So too with the hat, it would take care of the issue. The other thing I would just bring up, although I don't know if I would, it's just the ha'ara. This is my ha'ara. I don't know. You'd have to look into it. Is the the recent the raincoats which cover the hat also. So one ha'ara I have on it is that if your kavanah is you don't want your hat to be protected, it's fine. It's okay. But if you go ahead and there's a Rav says that if ask a Shiloh about, they used to have a hat and put the tunnels on top of their hat. In a small hat, not like a big hat, but there used to be in Europe, they used to have like a beret, whatever it is, a cap, and they used to put the tunnels over it. They had a bigger kippah, I don't know exactly. And so you see, so some people are machmir that because one thing is with this oil is the rabbanon because those have mechitzas. Right? We'll get into this oil and umbrellas and stuff, whatever, later. But here it makes mechitzas. So yes, he says it's for kavod, or he says it's slightly different kulas. So the question is, if you take this big hood and you put it over your hat, and your kavanah is to shield you from rain, so then I'm just pointing out that it could be, again, it's the rabbanon, it's probably fine, and not whatever. But a person could think that if he's just protecting his hat, that's fine. But if he wants to use it like, I have an umbrella, and your hat goes straight out tefach, and you have and you put a cover over it, and it now has mechitzas, you get into a possible shaila. It's better, like Rav said, to put it a little bit slanted, something like that, because then you avoid all these issues. But again, talking about the rabbanon, and it's not the minig, no one has to worry. I'm just pointing out something to think about.
That's it. It's really not the minig.
Yeah.
It's the bottom line.
Like I said, it's the rabbanon, and then Rav Samach on the other Rishonim, I don't know, whatever. Let's say it's b'Shabbos, a kovah shebarosho. Also, the hagim le'acham. You are allowed to go out with a hat on your head, which is to protect. The hat doesn't mean to shield you, to shade your eyes, because you don't want the sun burning on your head. The wind will blow it off. But also, you shouldn't wear a hat out. So you have to be sure the hat is pulled down well enough in your head that the wind's not going to blow it off. It's not just bouncing on your head. Your head just it fits on your head. And or you have a strap. The person should try to be makpid on this. Let's say you see tefillin lying outside in the street. It's out in the outside in the street or something like that. If there's a sakana that if you wear tefillin, then he should just he should put them on and cover them, because really you shouldn't cover them because it should be a malbush, but you have to put them on, cover them, and go. if they have like tefillin mitzvah, so people think that it's you can tell it's tefillin. And they're all retied, so you can go ahead and you can wear them. Then you wear it and bring it inside, and that's okay. And how you rabbin, you find a whole pile of tefillin. I don't know what's going on over there. You can't put. You're not going to do zug zug yakshich aleim alayla v'yavim because of covered tefillin. Then you should just stay there till the rest of Shabbos and watch them. In Yari lahashich may listing, but if you don't want to wait there because it's not your neighborhood, malichim pachas yabramos, you pick them all up, go pachas yabramos, which in the Carmelis b'diavad is mutter for tzarech. Even Shusarabim, if it's big tzarech, it's even Shusarabim. Or you do like over the Korban Pesach with the Kohanim that they would stand in a line and they would hand the kalim to the mizbeach to throw the blood. Everyone would just stand in the line and do a handoff, and therefore it's only the Rabbanan and the Makom Kavod. Then you'd be allowed to do it. They bring in also the issues about wearing something which is if it's on a mitzvah, stop wearing something which is on a mitzvah for you. For example, a woman who wants to go out wearing a talis, right? On Shabbos would be a problem. It's not the derech for a woman to wear a talis, so it's not. It's considered a masuri. Even though yesh cholkim is but we have to put it. That's the whole shayla like tefillin. Just put it on. Oh, we don't wear tefillin on Shabbos, and therefore that's considered a masuri unless it's the bizayim. A multi sefer Torah b'sada. You're out in the sada and you see a sefer Torah lying there. Chas v'shalom. In eno shas sakana. If it's not shas sakana, yoshev v'shamar. Just sit there and watch it till the end. I'm actually chalav. You have to sit there till the end of Shabbos. I can't tell you.
Why don't we do the same thing we just said about?
So let's see. If it's Mesukin, then you're allowed to leave it. But let's say it's not Mesukin, but it's raining. You take the Sefer Torah and you wrap it around your body, which might take a while, but you wrap it around your body derech malbush. Because it's even though it's a shtickle design for the Sefer Torah, but it's going to get ruined, which is worse. So you're allowed to wrap it around your body, and I don't know if you have to wrap
the Torah around the body, or you're wrapping the Torah with leather.
It's hardly understood that you wrap it because it's derech malbush. I don't think there's no point where misatif ba'or. Because of the chassos of a nichnas bo, you're wearing it. You're not leaving it out in the southern. You're not just covering it. You put it on. I don't know if it means you have to go ahead and unwrap the whole Sefer Torah. Maybe you do a few times and like kibbutz malbush, it could be it's enough. But that's he says hit the lashon of the Mishnah Berurah is hitur least atef to wrap it around himself. And you can go ahead and whatever. Someone wants to come and he's save his stuff from the lake. He should wear whatever he can. 10 things. Whatever. It's like, some people do on on the airplane. They don't have room in their suitcase, so they wear 5 coats and 2 hats, whatever, and so they don't have to pack things. Someone whose clothing gets wet, he can walk and they don't have to worry about schita. You should not take your wet socks and dry them out. It looks like you washed them on Shabbos. She keeps on the Shabbos. Obviously, a coat you're allowed to hang a wet coat up because everyone hangs their coats up. But to spread it over or something would be a problem. But if you just hang it up on a hanger or something, it doesn't look like you want.
You don't put it on the clothesline.
Yeah, don't put it on the clothesline. But I'd say a coat is. But if you take your socks and hang it over a chair or something, then that looks like you washed it. Well, right before Shabbos, you hang out stuff. Eino chayiv l'salchon b'Shabbos. You don't have to go ahead and take them off on Shabbos with the Marasayan. It's only Marasayan. It's enough that they're there before Shabbos. And whether the muksa or not is a different issue. If they're used on Shabbos, it could be the machlokes is whether they're muksa. Begadim v'shruyim b'mayim. What time did we start? Okay, another 5 minutes. Let's just do begadim v'shruyim b'mayim. Also, nagam samach la'esh. You can't dry them, put them next to your platter or something like that, or your blech, to dry them off. Hagav also tells Hashem Yomi they skita if they're very wet. And you shouldn't even pick them up because you might come to skita. Who shimakbin al meimav, but that's only if you want the water. Also leilach b'shav. We'll get into the hill of skita at a different point. Also leilach b'shav is long as you lahachlik v'lipo b'mayim. You should not walk in a place where you might be able to fall into the water. Shemi yishu kelav. The skita, a person should be careful not to walk right on the edge of a pool or something like that, right on the edge or on a very narrow, tightrope over water, and whatever it is, because if he falls in, he may come to go ahead and to get wet. If he gets wet, he gets wet. Stop walking. If he's walking, stop. But if he can't put himself he's poshea, to put himself in a situation where he might come to get wet and do skita. It's even if they're very sweaty, it's one of these hot days and they're just soaking wet, you still shouldn't, hang them out. Stopping on them, ba'aluntis, save a towel, mevia biyado, are you allowed to carry it? You're allowed to pick it up. You're not worried you're going to come to squeeze out the towel. And it's not talking about taking it out, holding a wet towel. Even if they're very wet, then we're not cautious you're going to go ahead and squeeze it. But if you give it to the goyim in the bathhouse or whatever, so they're cautious that they're going to go ahead and squeeze out the water, and that would be an issue. Mutter lichot yada b'hart minar b'Shabbos. You're allowed to wash your hands in the nar. Because you have water on the chutz min nar arba amos, because it's carrying. You have to shake your hands up. Extra water again is carrying. You're allowed to people have to wrap their face for acne or something like that. Here's not in the garden. They have acne or other types of sores and things, whatever, and they put on some sort of wrap on it. It was motor avim sam bizvashit tzvam with karacham when you wrap it around and you put it on, or you put it on b'yom. But if you just stick it on, if it looks, but it says if it's tzvam l'noi, it looks something that looks nice, then it's like a malbush. If it just looks like a piece of gauze, then that would be a problem. Let's put on for Shabbos. Mutter lasis with its seventh shatolim b'tzavar misheyesh lo maka biyado b'zro. You're allowed to go out with it with a sling or things like that. L'chein b'smartutim lius beged balo yakruchim al yad or etzva sheish bo maka. You're allowed to go ahead if your hands wrapped in gauze or things like that. You're allowed to go out on Shabbos because they're not considered, they're a katashi, because you have a maka, so therefore it's what you wear. If you have a wound, this is what you wear on a wound. You wear these things. Unless it's something weird, like I said before, pishtan, tzaruk, whatever, but if a regular bandage or a sling or things like that, a cast, anything like that, is called a mabush for someone who is ill, sick, or with a wound, and Seder will stop. Sorry.